Welcome to the show where the truth comes alive. St. James is here, so let's take a deep dive. Real talk, real vibes, it's the carnal church groove. Prelate in the house, watch the spirit move. The St. James Show, oh here we go. Serving wisdom with a carnal flow. From the pulpit to the streets, we're keeping it real. Faith and life collide, that's the deal. Breaking down the walls, it's the church unfiltered. St. James preaching love, keeping hearts uplifted. Laugh, learn, grow, it's the vibe you'll respect. The carnal church sector, where we all connect. The St. James Show, the prelates here. Bold, uncut, bringing truth that's clear. Hit subscribe, take a seat, come through. It's the St. James Show, made just for you. The St. James Show.
We got action, everybody. Come on in here and hit that like button. I am St. James, your prelate, your apostle, your prophet today. Oh, I'm the prophet. Oh, yes, I am. Oh, yes, I am. Oh, yes, I am. I am the leader of the carnal church sector, your host here at the St. James Show. Will you do me a big favor? As always, I always ask you, would you please, thank you for watching as always, but you gotta hit that like button. Let's get the sanctuary popping on tonight. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button, and become a member of the St. James Show. Click the link in the bio, and there is your handle to always support the platform monetarily. Let me tell you, we got action today, y'all. Let me see who's up in here. Rejoice is in the building. Thank you so much. One Deep. Melanie Rice. Yes, indeed. Thank you for being a member. Thank you for your support. Catherine Powell is in the building. Candace is here. Thank you, Candace, for your support. Simone Style is here. Thank you, Simone Style. Also, Nita Son is here. Wild card, old faithful wild card. I knew you was coming. You knew I was coming. I had to get out of here. Big Rome is here. Big Rome is Miss Candace, our beautiful Miss Candace. Thank you always for your support, Miss Candace. CC is in the building. Remember to like and share. Like and share. Yes, Mari. It is tea time. We need a big jug today. We need a jug of tea. Jake's came out with a right and a left and a left and a right. Oh my God, yes he did. It's Shayla. What's up? Thank you. Love that intro. Uncle Paul, let me know if you would like to. Paul, would you tell me, send me a message? How would you like people to contact you for your work? Charlotte Walker is up in the building. Thank you for being a member, Just Being Me. Appreciate you. Grace and peace. What's up, J Tuda? Yes, sir. Oh, excuse me. Oh, my goodness. That was not manlike. Come on. What's up, Tashi? Thank you. Oh, God. Chandra Ross is in the building. Clarinda Davis. Oh, you're all here. Oh, they kept poking and nudging and flipping and kicking. Oh, they kept on doing it. JP is here. What's up, beautiful JP? Diva Law says hello. What's up, Regina? The Juice and Talk Radio Show. You may have to get ready. You may have to get ready later on, Regina. You may go live on your own, but it depends. It's up to you. But I'm gonna do it later on after I read this stuff. Kelly Hayes is in the building. The Smart Show is up in here. Haven't seen you in a while, Mr. Smart Show. Must be some tea today. All right. What's up, Jesse? All right. The assistant, the adjutant of the prelate. That's Jesse. He gets a new title every show. Hit that like button, everybody. What's up, the Passport Life? What's going on? I have a small mug, but you're going to need it. You're going to need it. You're going to need it everywhere you go. Shelton Sutton is here. Thank you so much, Kelly Hayes. Okay. All right, y'all. Woo, before we get into it, Walter, what you got to say? What you got to say, Walter? Woo. We're going to need a lot of Walter when Bishop Jakes get through with these folks. Oh, and he's just getting started. He's just getting started. If you're new here, you know that Bishop Jakes has sued Dwayne Youngblood. Dwayne Youngblood is a particular gentleman. He's a two-time convicted pedo that accused Bishop Jakes 30-something years ago of hugging him and trying to kiss him. You heard me right. He accused him of embracing him, hugging him, and then tried to kiss him. After appearing on Larry Reid Live show and telling his story and throwing his guts out about this, this so inappropriate stuff, he says that Bishop Jakes, hello, Bishop Jakes lawyers. I know y'all watching. He said, after he told Larry Reid on the Larry Reid Live show all his, he spilled his guts and he told him what Bishop Jakes had did to him. And then he called me on the phone the next day after he missed that kiss. He called me on the phone and then he was in a bath. I heard water, Larry. And he was in the bubble bath. That's what he was, the bubble bath. Then he said he was going to take care of me for the rest of my life. And I only had to sleep with him whenever he'd come to his city because he didn't want to bring nothing home to Sarita. Oh, this is all Dwayne Youngblood's words. And then I went to church that night, 30-something years ago, and he made me read the scripture. I couldn't believe he made me read the scripture. Oh, everybody's stupid. You stupid. You stupid. You over there stupid. Everybody's stupid, Jesse. Everybody's stupid. And now we're here, Giselle. We're here. Yeah, the bubble bath. Right there, the bubble bath. The bubble bath. So now we're here. So after he gets off that podcast, everybody, I'm just trying to tell the latecomers and the ones who don't quite know what's going on. After he gets off that podcast, he has another podcast, doubles down, changes a few little words, a few little things on his statement, but still, runs with the story that he had an embrace and a missed kiss. He then grabs him a jackleg attorney, a ambulance chasing attorney by the name of Tyrone Blackburn. And they send a letter to Bishop Jakes people saying they want $6 million. That you heard me when I said $6 million. Jake said, well, listen here. I sat through a whole year of y'all poking me. Y'all trying to drag me out the closet. Y'all saying I'm paying people off. Y'all saying you got peach cobblers on the motorcycles. You're saying you're over here. I'm sleeping with my bodyguard and all this. You did this for a whole year. But the straw that broke the camel's back was the Dwayne Youngblood appearance on the Larry Reid Live show. That was the straw. What's up, Inspired? That was the straw. $6 million. Oh, yeah. They expected, and the reason why I'm saying it's what the complaint is now alluding to. They. Who's they? Expected. They sat down at the table. Richard Smallwood, at the table. And they're saying that a plan was conjured up to divvy up the $6 million funds. My God, today. So today, we've been waiting. So they finally was able to, serve Youngblood. So we've been waiting for the response from Youngblood. But Jakes is saying, listen here. And now Jakes has entered a motion to expedite. Let's get into it. But before we get into it, have you hit that like button? It's just a question. Have you hit the like button? Have you hit share? What have you done? Have you just came in and sat down and did nothing? Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and join the St. James Show through our membership. Be sure that you are a member here. And let me tell you this. Feel free to get your comment highlighted and to make sure I see it by putting a color on it. Putting a color on it in the chat, it also helps the platform and keeps us coming and keeps us on the go. All right, let's get into it. What's up, K Rich? What's up? Thank you, Deanna. Thank you so much for hitting that like button. Let's look at this expedite. Let's see what it is. Oh, we got action today, y'all. Oh, yes, we do. Let's see. You gonna go on the screen? Okay, thank you. This is a notice of motion for expedited discovery. I'm no lawyer. I may not know some of these words. We're going to flow with it, all right? You want a lawyer to talk about it? Go to a lawyer or go to a lawyer's page, and you can definitely get that going, okay? Please take note that Plaintiff Thomas Dexter will move before the Honorable Judge William S. Stickman IV at the United States Courthouse, 700 Grant Street, Pennsylvania, at a time to be set by the court for an order pursuant to Rule 26 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedures as follows. For an exception to the general rule under Rule 26 that formal discovery occur after the Rule 26. F, conference so as to permit the plaintiff to issue 2 third-party subpoenas in plaintiff's effort to identify John Doe defendants in this matter and articulate factual allegations pertaining thereto. You need to understand, saints of the Most High God. No, people call Bishop Jakes dumb. They said, oh, I have a feeling a little bird told me that it was going to be dropped. This don't look like a man who's dropping any cases around here. All right. Please take further notice that in support of this motion, plaintiff will rely upon the company brief in support, the declaration of Darrell Janey Esquire, dated December 17th. The exhibits annexed thereto, and all papers previously filed in this action. All right? Let's get on down to the nitty-gritty. See, the John Does, they still ain't filled in. They ain't filled in, but that's okay. Hold your seats. Hold your seats in the house of the Lord. All right? Plaintiff's brief in support of motion for expedited discovery. And again, we know that discovery, just speaking from a layman term, the discovery is all the information that they need to support their claim, whether it be witnesses or whether it be videos or mails or emails or texts, calls, whatever they need to provide to support their claim. Plaintiff Thomas Dexter Jakes, by and through the undersigned counsel, files this brief to support plaintiff's motion for expedited discovery that is limited to 2 30-party subpoenas seeking solely documents, a subpoena to be served on an individual that commands production of documents over a narrow time frame, and B, related, a subpoena to be served on aforesaid individual's business that also commands production of documents over a narrow time frame. Plaintiff anticipates that these 2 third-party subpoenas would substantially reveal the identities of John Does in this case and thus enable this litigation to proceed more expeditiously and efficiently. Oh, it's For this reason, it sounded spotty. Is it okay? You sure? How about now? Maybe I was too close. How about now? Are we good? Okay. For this reason, set forth below and in counsel's affidavit in support of the motion filed concurrently herewith, the court should grant plaintiff's motion for expedited discovery. See, they trying to get this. Well, I'll keep reading. Relevant factual and procedural background. Spotty. What do you mean spotty? Is the sound spotty with you guys? Okay, maybe go out and come back in, Inspire. All right. On November 25th, 2024, plaintiff filed a complaint in this matter alleging that Dwayne Youngblood was liable per se, and all defendants, including John Doe's 1 through 10, were liable for civil conspiracy to commit liable per se. Prior to instituting this proceeding, on November 22nd, counsel for plaintiff contacted the attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, that delivered a letter labeled as appearance letter, preservation notice, and offer of settlement, indicating that he represented Mr. Youngblood by telephone and left a voicemail to return the call. The call was never returned. Once the complaint was filed, by email dated November 25th, counsel contacted attorney Blackburn to inquire whether he would accept service on behalf of the client. In response, we were unceremoniously told to probability pound sand, okay, and to serve Mr. Youngblood. In other words, don't give me no papers. Go find Youngblood. You go serve him. All right. By December 4th, 2024, efforts to serve Mr. Youngblood had been unsuccessful. Accordingly, in an email exchange dated December 4th, 2024, with attorney Blackburn, we inquired as to whether Mr. Blackburn had changed his position regarding waiver of service. What's the tea? What's going on, Youngblood? In response, once again, the ambulance chasing attorney, Blackburn, refused to waive service. I may throw in a few colorful words. Don't worry about that. So Blackburn still said, don't give me the papers, insisting that plaintiff serve Mr. Youngblood. Attorney Blackburn never stated whether he represented Mr. Blackburn for the purposes of the lawsuit. Sounds to me that Blackburn is no longer Youngblood's attorney. Subsequently, plaintiff was able to effectuate service on defendant Youngblood, and on December 9th, 2024, the clerk of the court noted that the summons had been returned, executed by the plaintiff, and that the defendant Youngblood was served late in the evening. Oh, God, turn it around. On December 4th, 2024. I told y'all about that. I said he finally got served, y'all. Will you do me a big favor, everybody? Hit that like button. Hit that like button as you are coming in, all right? Woo. Oh, I came back in better. Okay, thank you, Inspire. Great. Okay. Defendant Youngblood's answer is due on December 26th, one day after Christmas. That's when he has to respond to the complaint. At this point, no attorney has filed a notice of appearance on behalf of defendant Youngblood. Where's your attorney? And Mr. Youngblood explicitly rejected an offer to accept more time to respond to the complaint. Not only, Saints, did they, there's been no notice to the court as to who his attorney is, but then the Jakes camp said, well, listen, since we didn't get anything in regards to an attorney, do you need more time to do your complaint? He didn't want more time. Plaintiff submits that based on the exchanges with attorney Blackburn and the absence of any notice of appearance in the litigation on behalf of defendant Youngblood, reasonably speaking, we do not have opposing counsel with whom we can confer on the subject of this motion. And we do not anticipate Defendant Youngblood to provide information at this juncture that will resolve the subject of this matter. Given the criminal background of defendant, here they go. Given the criminal background of Defendant Youngblood and on information and belief, this is their belief, the prior background of his co-conspirators, we submit that there is a very real danger that the information plaintiff seeks to identify John Doe's and provide a proper factual articulation in an amended claimant will not be preserved long enough to be available through the normal discovery process. What are they saying, ladies and gentlemen? They're saying there's going to be some scrapping of some videos. The information is going to be just gone. We need to get it now, Judge. We need the information now. We need to get this discovery now because people got they magic erasers, and they are trying to scrap information. Woo! Where you gonna run? Where you gonna hide? Here, plaintiff asserts a prima facie, claim for conspiracy to commit defamation. A conspiracy, y'all, to commit defamation. Oh, get your wine, Nicole C. Plaintiff alleges that Defendant Youngblood acted with others to publish and broadcast the false claim that Bishop Jakes groomed him and sexually assaulted Youngblood on a podcast reaching over 100,000 persons, knowing that making such false claims on a podcast that reaches such a broad audience of listeners would harm Bishop Jakes. To wit, a person believed to be acting in concert with Defendant Youngblood, that is the podcaster, identified in the complaint as co-conspirator number one. See, the thing about it, when we first we were like, maybe, but in this motion to expedite, they are saying that in the complaint, the podcaster was already identified as co-conspirator number one, in their opinion. Falsely claimed in sum and substance that Bishop Jakes had engaged in settlement decisions with Youngblood regarding his claims. Does anyone remember that? Does anyone remember that we were led to believe that there had been some conversations in regards to a settlement? I don't know if the video is still up, but I don't know. But I remember there was some conversations. Giselle, you remember? Miss Candace, you remember? Okay. It's Shayla. Do you remember? Nicole C. remembers. Okay. All right. Remind, this is a federal civil court, not state. Bishop White, how it stated, how it's ended, how it started, how it. Okay. All right. We'll see. It's still, they still got some legs on this bad boy here, though, Itachi. There's some legs, some tentacles that may grow different areas in different places. All right. Let's go back to this. Okay. Let's read this again. I'm gonna read this sentence again because I missed my place. To wit, a person believed to be acting in concert with Defendant Youngblood, that is the podcaster, identified in the complaint as co-conspirator number one, falsely claimed in sum and substance that Bishop Jakes had engaged in settlement discussions with Youngblood regarding his claims, thereby trying to give a patina of veracity to Defendant Youngblood's accusations. No such settlement discussion ever took place. My God. The first podcast occurred on October 28th, 2024. In an effort to maximize their efforts, THEIR, they launched a second podcast on November 3rd, 2024, where they attempted to more clearly target the false claim of sexual assault against Bishop Jakes by, in sum and substance, stating that Bishop Jakes restrained defendant Youngblood and forcibly kissed him, as opposed to the first podcast where defendant Youngblood alleges that they embraced at the end of an hours-long, wide-ranging conversation about faith and life and parents. So there was a change up, everybody, that they're saying occurred between the first podcast on the 28th of October and the second one on November 3rd. Okay? Plaintiff alleges that the primary motivation for these acts is money. Will somebody type money? Will somebody put emojis of money? Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. The defendants demanded, listen here, they're killing me here. Jake's attorneys is wearing me thin here. Click the like button, everybody, because they're saying the defendants demanded $6 million, or in effect, the podcasts, 2 of which have already been produced, would continue. Does anybody remember that we were supposed to get a part 3, possibly a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? There was one point when the podcaster said there was going to be a whole documentary done on Bishop Jakes. Does anybody remember that? Don't come in here throwing those negatives around. You would. Thank you, Jesse. Oh, Marcellus, you remember? Okay. All right. Hit the like button, everybody. Plaintiff alleges that the primary motivation for these acts, you ready? Do you want to come up a little later too, Marcellus? Or I'll finish. We're going to have a powwow, if you don't mind, if you want to. Unless you're going to go live on yours, and I do understand. Plaintiff alleges that the primary motivation for these acts is money. The defendants demanded $6 million, or in effect, the podcast, the 2 of which have already been produced, would continue. In yet a third podcast that aired mere hours after the complaint in this action was filed on November 25th, 2024, the podcaster admitted that he had seen at least some portion of the $6 million extortion letter sent to the plaintiff, and further admitted that he knew about the letter. I sure hope they didn't download those videos. You don't think the attorneys are that smart, do you, Saints? Do you think they downloaded them videos? Let's see here. That was on 11/25/24. Larry Reid Live. Bishop T.D. Jakes goes after Dwayne Youngblood. They said it was at the 10-minute 37 mark when he said that. Okay. Moreover, the podcaster states that he knew the letter was being emailed to Bishop Jakes. Oh, Lord Jesus. I didn't understand why there was continued talk about this case when the platform was already named in the complaint. It was already in there. If the St. James Show was in a complaint, I wouldn't talk about the lawsuit. I just wouldn't. But I guess that's just the naivety of me. I guess I'm naive. What you say, Sun Kissed 179Q? Ooh, dug it and dug it real good. Mm-hmm. All right. So let's read that again. Moreover, the podcaster states that he knew the letter was being emailed to Bishop Jakes. 11/25/24, Larry Reid live. Bishop Jakes, TD Jakes, goes after Dwayne Youngblood. In another podcast, I guess we're still talking, the podcaster concedes that he often pays interviewees on his show and that to the extent they realize financial compensation for their grievances, the podcaster expects to be compensated. I think I know where they got this from. Let me keep going. Moreover, in the earlier November 3rd, 2024 podcast, the podcaster admits that he has knowledge of the monies that might be paid to Defendant Youngblood as a result of his interviews. Ooh, my God. This doesn't look good. More particularly, during the November 3rd podcast, Youngblood is asked by a guest whether anyone has reached out to him to pay him off. The podcaster interposes his own answer to the question by stating, in sum and substance, that he can answer that question for sure, responding in the positive. And that was in the Larry Reid Live interviews Dwayne Youngblood. The abused became the abuser. Thank you, Londa. I appreciate you, Londa, for being a member. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. You are now, what did you get? It didn't tell me. It didn't tell me, but thank you so much. What's up, Prince James? I see Dion Drake. What's up, Tiptoe Through the Tulips? Oh, it's getting deep now, y'all. But make sure that you are hitting that like button as you come in, that you are sharing on all your social medias, and that you have hit that subscribe button. We are over 2,100 subscribers right now. So become a member, just as Londa did just a few minutes ago. And make sure throughout the show, if you would like to support $ The Saint James Show or $ Saint James Show. All right, let's move on. At this point, plaintiff submits that we have a reasonable basis to believe A, the podcaster has knowledge of Defendant Youngblood's plan to obtain money by making false statements against the plaintiff, including knowledge about the $6 million extortion letter sent to the plaintiff. And B, what's up, Angie? Some financial compensation was provided to Defendant Youngblood by the podcaster to participate in the podcast interviews where the false statements were launched. Further, on information and belief, plaintiff submits that there was a plan between and among Defendant Youngblood and his conspirators, including the podcaster, to share in the anticipated extortion payment once made. Let me read that again. Furthermore, on information and belief, plaintiff submits that there was a plan between and among Defendant Youngblood and his co-conspirators, including the podcaster, to share in the anticipated extortion payment once made. Moreover, the podcaster was able to realize other channels of financial gain by launching the series of podcasts related to Defendant Youngblood's false statements against the plaintiff. Woo, this is deep, y'all. This is deep. 2,000, Scott, you are at 20. Oh, did I say 2,000? I'm sorry, I'm at 20,100. My bad. That's where I am. Thank you so much. What's up, 822? I forgot. I was bit. I didn't get to your thing, 822. I'll make it up. Thank you, Pettigrew girl. I know some Pettigrews. I know some Pettigrews in my city. I know them. I know them. Good people. Good people. All right. All right. Let's see here. What did I leave off on? Okay. That was B. Okay. That was good. The November 25th, 2024 podcast alone, by the podcaster's own admission on the live show, attracted 5,607 viewers to the YouTube show. So I can think they're talking about live viewers as they were on there. At the end of the show, the podcaster requested that those 5,607 persons make a 888, I don't know what he said that day, a donation to his show if they enjoyed the update. Ooh, they are digging. They are, oh my God. Oh, how did I miss some super chats. I am so sorry. Tiffany said, good God, today. Oh, I'm sorry, Tiffany. I missed your super chat. I hate when I do that. Where is it at? Where is it at? Can I find it? Can I find it? I don't know. I'm so sorry, Tiffany, but thank you for your $20 putting a color on it. She said, child times 3. My God. Oh, God. Well, this is when bragging on viewers doesn't work out for you. All right. A banner appeared on the screen advertising that such donations could be made through a wide number of mechanisms, including PayPal, Venmo, and Zelle. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. That's what they said, Regina. The podcaster. The identity of John Doe's is essential to efficiently advancing this matter. Without the request early discovery described herein, plaintiff submits that he will be A, unreasonably delayed in amending the complaint to include other culprits, risk interactive conferences with the court once those parties are later added during traditional formal discovery, and C, suffers the burden, along with other litigants, of potentially avoidable disjointed motions, initially challenging the complaint, which in turn will likely disrupt the orderly flow of the case management plan in this case. Here, the plaintiff knows the identity of the podcaster. However, Bishop Jakes requires expedited discovery to further develop the factual matter to properly and appropriately support naming the podcaster and the podcast company as named defendants in this case. Good Jesus. They poked him, and he's coming out with vigor in this case, accordance with the federal rules of civil procedure. Plaintiff anticipates that the requested information in connected with these two subpoenas will also reveal the identity of other John Does, whom will also be named as a result of the expedited discovery. Thank you so much, Wanda Moore. So you said, love your show. You are so cool, funny, and bring a great explanation and comment. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, Princess, for being a member for 6 months. This is what happens when you constantly have diarrhea of the mouth. He done talked his way into a lawsuit with his lie. My God, Princess. My God. Oh, Jesus. He talked. Statement of questions involved. In consideration of the administration of justice and the possible prejudice or hardship to the defendant, Does good cause exist justifying expedited discovery by plaintiff? Proposed answer? Yes. Hit that like button, everybody. Hit that like button. My God. Legal standard for expedited discovery. Plaintiff acknowledges that generally the federal rules of civil procedure do not permit formal discovery before the required Rule 26 F scheduling conference occurs. However, courts may permit expedited discovery before the Rule 26 F conference upon a showing of good cause. Good cause may be found where the need for expedited discovery and consideration of the administration of justice outweighs the prejudice. Courts routinely allow early discovery when it will substantially contribute to moving the case forward and is narrowly tailored for that purpose. Among other factors, courts consider, number one, whether a preliminary injunction is pending. Two, the breadth of the discovery requests. Number three, the purpose for requesting the expedited discovery. Number four, the burden of the defendant of compliance with the requested discovery. And number five, how far in advance of the typical discovery process the request was made. And then they put in some case law. Argument 4. Oh, God. Y'all hit that like button and do share. Good cause exists in this instance. As a threshold matter, plaintiff deserves a prompt adjudication of his claims against the defendant, which necessarily begins with an ability to identify the persons involved with defendant Youngblood in his efforts to systematically defame Bishop Jakes in exchange for a payoff and other related financial gains. Thank you so much, Giselle, for putting the color on it. We appreciate your $19.99. Thank you again, Londa, for putting the color on it. We appreciate your $5 gift. Oh, where's the... Oh, I don't know, Be Spiritual. I don't know. This is getting extremely interesting, Catherine Powell. And they said it was going to be thrown out. They said Bishop Jakes was dumb. That's what they said. That's what they said. Did anybody hear him say it? Hear them say that? Dumb. It's gonna, it's gonna ruin Bishop Jakes. But y'all wasn't trying to do that already? Huh? Okay. Payoff. Okay. Plaintiff has already developed some information. Listen up, saints. Plaintiff has already developed some information that would support factual articulation of at least one conspirator, but requires additional specific information that would support elaboration of the conspiracy claim, including the mechanisms of the conspiratorial conduct, thus bringing to light an even clearer picture of the behavior at issue in this case and the persons involved. This particular need directly supports the administration of justice in this case, including the mechanisms of the conspiratorial conduct. The mechanisms. Oh, God. But Jakes, they gave you some law advice the other day. Your attorneys were supposed to listen to the blogger law advice. You guys are out of line. There was advice given. They didn't see what happened to Tasha K. Darrell Peak. No, they ignored Tasha K. Onward, Christian soldiers. Defendant Youngblood is not prejudiced by his expedited discovery, and it does not impose any hardship upon him. This application does not deprive defendant Youngblood of opportunity to object to the intended Rule 45 subpoenas because, naturally, he is able to articulate any opposition by responding to this motion. Get your attorney to respond. Over 600 in the chat. Please hit that like button for me. Moreover, the returns from the Rule 45 subpoenas would be made available to Defendant Youngblood in normal course and as required by the FRCP. Further, the Rule 45 subpoenas do not require any production from Defendant Youngblood. So just chill out. Let us do our work, Youngblood. Just chill out. Yes, yeah. So even if Defendant Youngblood is pro se in this action, no attorney, the application does not request any material from him where he might otherwise be prejudiced in the absence of any attorney. See, what they're saying is, even though he don't have an attorney, because Tyrone Blackburn done flew the coop, he figured out you should have asked a few more questions before you started chasing that ambulance. You should have asked, wait a minute, he hugged you and he tried to kiss you? What else he do? Nothing. Nigga, please. But he allowed his name to be on that letter to demand $6 million, but now you can't find Tyrone. Somebody better call Tyrone. All right? This request under the anticipated subpoenas are narrowly tailored. First, in terms of the Rule 45 subpoena directed to the podcaster. See, requests can be grouped analytically in the following manner. Request 1 through 3, almost done, everybody. Marcellus and Regina, y'all ready? Intended to establish actual identification, which is critical for properly identifying the punitive defendant. Probative of the relationship of interactions between the punitive defendant and Defendant Blackburn over an approximately 3-month time frame, encompassing a period slightly before the first podcast and then the period during two of the two podcasts. Request 6 through 8, information that would likely elaborate upon statements already made by the podcaster. I think you talk too much, Larry. I don't mean any offense, but I think you talked too much, including his knowledge about the November 15th extortion letter and his interaction with Attorney Blackburn prior to the letter being sent to plaintiff. Data and material that would argument plaintiff's current and understanding about the punitive defendant's financial motivation to act in the furtherance of and in accord with Defendant Youngblood's false allegations against Bishop Jakes. We got Uncle Tim smoking. What? Andy Moore smoking on that. Oh my God. Fundamentally, none of requests 1 through 3 can reasonably pose a burden to the punitive defendant. Proving your actual legal name and address is something most persons engage with every day across contexts. That's all we want. We just need some names. We just need some, regular stuff. With respect to the remaining requests, the punitive defendant opened the probable door on the inquiries at minimum by and through his November 25th podcast that took place specifically in response to filing this lawsuit. I thought it was weird that he got on and spoke about this lawsuit right afterwards when he was, his name and business was associated in the complaint. Again, during that podcast, the punitive defendant, A, described having knowledge of the extortion letter, B, admitted to having seen at least some aspects of the letter. Do anybody remember that? C, and strongly alluded to knowing what the extortion letter stated before it was sent to the plaintiff. Thank you so much, Soulful Renee, I appreciate you for becoming a member of the St. James Show. Most third parties object to Rule 45 subpoenas because they do not want to be bothered with litigation that does not involve them. However, here the punitive defendant specifically, intentionally, and deliberately interposed himself in matters of the lawsuit by his own provocative statements that raise substantive questions about his role and related legal liability as a participant in the conspiracy. All are on public broadcasts and in full face of and with an understanding that the lawsuit had been filed. So what they're saying, even though the lawsuit had been filed, the podcaster continued to speak, continued to spew. The second Rule 45 subpoena on the company is similar to scope. The time frames from the requested information are narrow. The requests largely mimic those in Rule 45 subpoena and are intended to avoid a situation where the podcaster claims not to have the requested documents, such as emails or texts that are otherwise maintained on corporate devices or system. They saying we need an expedited motion of discovery, Judge, because we don't want the podcaster to be scrapping no emails, scrapping no texts, deleting no video. We don't want none of that to happen. So we have to have this expedited now, Judge. Thank you, Creeby, for being a member for 2 months. He said, I'm going to show you how a bee go down the slide. Let me show you how I get down this slide. I'm going to show you how I do this. Woo. Someone says, was the extortion attempt at the federal level? I don't think we've gotten federal yet. I think we're still in the civil. I think it's still civil. Don't quote me. I'm no attorney, okay? All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. We submit that the reasons for the subpoenas described above, on balance, favor the court granting the motion and permitting expedited discovery as described here. Again, the scope of the anticipated discovery is narrow. The purpose is clear. Okay? Effectuate a purpose through which the co-conspirators in this matter can be quickly identified and the complaint can be expeditiously amended so to include those persons, along with a proper and appropriate description of their role in the conspiracy. Not only did they want it, they are eager to tell the court what role they believe the co-conspirator has played in this $6 million extortion attempt. That's what the dumb, stupid attorneys of Bishop Jakes has claimed. This is a federal civil lawsuit. All amounts over $75,000. Okay, Daryl. I don't know what it is. I ain't an attorney. All right, the last page. In conclusion, for the foregoing reasons, plaintiffs respectfully request that this motion be granted. On this date, December 17, 2024, by Darrell M. Janey, the Janey Law Firm, New York City. New York City! What say you? What say you? We have now read through the motion. Where is it at? The motion to expedite discovery in the T.D. Jakes versus Dwayne Youngblood lawsuit. They would like to put the pedal to the metal. They would like to start officially naming co-conspirators. They have one co-conspirator that they would like to map down and tell the courts exactly what part they believe They played in this, and at this point, the co-conspirators are looking like one looks like Larry Reid of the Larry Reid Live show. And I'm not making the assumption. The motion is making the assumption. They even went back and said into the complaint that they named the co-conspirator. There's the link. That link is only for Marcellus and Regina from the Juice Radio show. There it is. See, that's my thing. Extortion is a felony. So I think what they're doing, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to prove it in the civil so they can go into the, criminal. I don't know. But this is a lie, everybody. We told you that this was coming. We told him, Marcellus, that Bishop Jakes is no punk. We told y'all that all this, he's stupid for filing and all this double talk. And then now everybody loves Bishop Jakes. There's a love fest going on. Their program was only used to tell a story. We got to watch the stories and storytellers that we do on our podcast, Marcellus and Regina. We got to watch the storytellers. We only have 225 likes, everybody. Please hit that like button. We have Marcellus from Mad Church Disease on here. And we also have Regina from the Juice Radio and Talk Show. Ladies first.
Well, good evening, gentlemen. Listen, I'm so glad to be on panel with Marcellus. I'm just Marcellus. Thank you, St. James. Woo-wee, woo-wee. Y'all, let me tell you. I am still surprised to see videos still up on his channel, on the podcasters channel, and to watch all the people that have been supporting him and still supporting him now going live. Even tonight, I've seen them and they trying to say all stuff that they said. I'm like, y'all, if I was one of them that did not know if you were one of the John Does, I would sit quiet.
I don't understand going on other people and talking in the chat about this case. It blows my mind.
People still saying, oh, you think, Jakes is crazy to do this. He's just opened up a can of worms is a comment that I saw on one of these people's platform. I'm like, do y'all know who y'all dealing with?
Uncle Tim, hold off, Uncle Tim. I want to hear your thoughts in a little bit. Give me a minute.
Oh yeah, Marcellus, he went live.
What say you?
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, all I'm going to say in this particular instance is, we told you so. Unfortunately, I normally don't like to wave the banner of "I told you so," but I think this is so apropos in this particular circumstance. By the way, Juice Radio, I've seen you on some other bald black men's platforms, so you've been on some places where there've been some bald black men. That's all I'm saying. Shout out to AT2. I saw her over there wishing you a happy. I saw her over there wishing him a happy birthday.
That's my boy right there. That's my guy. AT2 is my guy from day one. You know, wherever AT2 asked me to be, I'm gonna be right there.
And happy belated birthday to him. Let me just say, I'm not surprised by these individuals going to all these other platforms. It doesn't surprise me, but there's so much I could talk about here. I don't even know where to begin. We told you guys that these people had become extortionists and had become the new extortionists because they've been doing this racket for quite some time. Right. And only when Daryl Moore, and I'm throwing Daryl's name out there because Daryl was the one who gave us the information. When Daryl Moore came out and revealed to us how these people were working behind the scenes, it just crumbled some of their attempts and some of the extortion attempts that they were trying to make. So they had to shut Daryl up at all costs. And so they went after Daryl to keep him quiet because he was revealing so much information.
And just for the record, this was reported to us here at the St. James Show. The views and thoughts of my guests are their personal views and thought, and all things said are alleged until proven.
That is true. So. And allegedly, Larry been added to this here lawsuit, which solidifies
well,
what Daryl told us. I know it's not alleged. I know his name is in there. He's been mentioned, but I'm just saying that for the.
It's not his name has not been mentioned. The name of his platform and the videos have been mentioned.
Right. Well, he told them in the first filing that he was co-conspirator number one. But Larry went around this tour going, "Oh, well, it's not me, and he's not going to file. I've not been named in a lawsuit." And
I love Bishop Jakes.
Oh God, but that didn't come until later after Bishop Jakes would put on the gas. Now I'm gonna just tell you very succinctly. I know I've been talking to some people behind the scenes. I'll just put it that way.
Okay.
And what they did not expect for TD Jakes to do was to press on the gas. In my conversations with those said individuals, I conveyed that I thought it would behoove them to just press on the gas, because if you press on the gas, then you're able to roll over everybody who thinks that they're going to be able to get away. And I felt like they weren't moving swift enough. And so
and we all thought that, like, come on now, Jakes, come on. But they was moving very, wisely. Those dumb attorneys over there.
But I want to submit for you guys, and then I'll just simply say this. I'm gonna submit for you guys. There's going to be some other information, and there are certain things that Jakes has not added to this case that he will be able to use as evidence inside of his case to bolster his case and his claims. And so I'm gonna shut my mouth at that.
He's definitely alluded that he's not stopping at the Larry Reid platform, the podcaster platform. He's alluding that there are more names to be added. I'm going to
shout out to Jersey Mike's for helping me enjoy my night tonight. Praise the Lord.
They ain't paying us no money. We don't care about the we ain't got no check from them. But
I know, right?
Reading that, they are trying to get down to the nitty-gritty. They want to get the ball rolling. They want to shut these people up. See, people are still talking. Listen, y'all, listen, go over to your show, drop the link if you want to. But I'm telling you, people need to be quiet.
They're not going to be quiet, St. James. Are you kidding? They're not going to be quiet.
Yeah, it's crazy. Even tonight, as I was listening to you on St. James, I got a notification on my other phone, ding, ding, ding. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And the people that are talking, I'm like, oh my goodness, you are still defending the actions of the podcaster. You are still defending the actions. And you not realize that all this being recorded? Yeah.
We heard what was said. The things that they said in this motion, we heard those things. Now you can flip it and say you didn't mean it this way or that way. I guess that's for the courts or whatever to decide. But we heard these things.
Yeah, you can finagle public opinion. Yeah, but when it comes to court and they document it, and that you read, St. James. Yeah. This video, this title, this time frame, they are documenting everything.
Praise his name. They're doing an excellent job, and all I can tell you is it is a great work. They're doing a great work at the TD Jakes camp as far as their research and their information. So the only thing I'm going to simply say is this. Well, I can't do that over here. I'll wait for that later. Let me just say this: for people to be talking about folks is not on their level, and
I'm glad.
Right. So am I. So am I. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, I'm glad too, because I had a call even as much as yesterday of somebody saying my name was talked about over there, and trying to go behind. And listen, I did say, listen, you want to talk? You didn't want to talk. So thank God. God blocked it. God blocked it.
Right. And it's fine. We're low level podcasters. We're irrelevant. No, that's fine. Yeah. But my name is not listed in the Lamb's Book of Jakes.
Ooh. Right. Yeah, and I mean, you're not co-conspirator number 2 either.
Or one of those John Does. One of those John Does.
And you got to remember, hitting people's links and letting people come up. You don't know that you may be part of the plan that upon their belief. is this whole plan to really spread that narrative. And if Larry is on your platform, how do you know that the attorneys don't say that was part of the puzzle? That was a Lego to go over there and to continue to spread it. That podcast got 10 more thousand views because Larry was over there talking.
Well, if they count all the views that Larry and them have had over the last year in regards to this perpetual lie that they've been saying, it would be well over 100,000, probably even more than that. And I think your point is valid when you talk about those other individuals. But I just keep in mind when I do my work that those people are paid to do what they do. They're cash-apped to perpetuate this foolishness and not be able to have real, authentic, intelligent, commentary. It's just whatever Larry says.
Believe whatever they say and run with it.
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't even put too much stock in those people. And when you finally wake up, then you sound like Uncle Tim.
And you just go off and you just go good.
And you let them have it. And you let them have it.
The way they're really mapping this thing out, they're really trying to put everything together. That's why I think other podcasters or bloggers can find themselves intertwined with this, because it sounds to me they're going to follow the money. They want to know who got paid, when they got paid, possibly.
Don't talk about the money, because I got a text that I sent to a few people this weekend about people no longer using the NBN Cash app when they was trying to raise money for the NBN network. Did I say that out loud? And they sent some people a text message talking about, no, we don't want you to send it to this Cash app. Send it to this Cash app.
Oh, you got that too?
Oh, I got it too. I got it. So
hold on, Daryl. Are you still in litigation, Daryl? Hold on, Daryl.
Now he can't mention his name. He can't mention his name. I got you. But let me just tell you this. When I saw that text message that was sent to me regarding $88.88 that people was asking for, but then told people not to send it to their normal Cash app, to send it to this alternative Cash app. People just better wake up. That's all I'm gonna say on that. People better wake up, because the grift is real.
It's real, and it's becoming a live, real reality show that people are going to have to kick and scream to get out of it. Listen, they poked this man for a long time.
It wasn't fair. It was not fair. It was not fair what they did to him.
You know why it wasn't fair, Regina? Because there was never any receipts produced.
Right.
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 And that's amazing, coming from Larry's platform. I can say his name, that he would do that, because he always says he's a receipt-driven person.
Right.
And so whether he wants to call it whatever he wants to call it, but even if the world sees it, okay, you slipped up or whatever it is, you are not new to this. If someone's coming on there, and even if he got caught off guard by the comment while he was live, you did a second interview.
Right.
And what you should have done is to try and go back and say, okay, now you said you had, what proof do you have?
Yeah.
Come on. He's
But Regina, that wasn't the plan. The plan, as I said before.
See, that's it.
But the plan was to smoke TD Jakes out. They were going to drip feed this to the public.
They were trying to smoke him out of the closet and smoke him out of the bank or something.
Right. Really? It's like I talked about this on my podcast. It was like an old Western. You know how the old Westerns, they would say, we're going to smoke them out. We're going to, and that's literally what you're seeing here. They dripped the first one, then they came back with the second one, and then they were planning on their third and their series and their documentary or whatever they were going to put together.
What happened to the documentary that you said? Then you said, tell me your story, send me your emails. Remember all that? Give me all the good, juicy stuff, because I'm going to do a documentary. The documentary may not be on Jake's, but there may be a documentary.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. And you notice how they kept pivoting when they got too close to the TDJ, when they got too close to the fire, and they knew that the public, we were not receiving Dwayne Youngblood's story.
Right.
Then they flipped the script. Oh, and then it became the Watkins man. We're going to talk about the Watkins guy. And then there was two other people that he was going to bring forth because TD Jakes is so dumb. Remember? Oh, and if he files a lawsuit against me, I'm going to have to bring everything, come on.
That's the other thing.
See, that's the thing. They're
go
trying
after
to steal
someone's character. Yeah.
Go and say that again.
That's the other thing. You go after someone's character and then you try to, belittle them with your words on your platform. And that, trying to attack somebody's, character, you just to try and build yourself up. And it wasn't necessary. It was not necessary. If you've got a problem with TD Jakes or anybody else, talk to them like you're a man. Go to them, have a conversation with them. What is it? I mean, this has been going on with TD for too long. I mean, it's just it should not be. You have Manasseh in the situation. Then, of course, you've got Bishop Bernard Jordan.
They severed ways. Everybody severed ways.
Now.
But look at the timing of it all.
That's it.
This is the thing, and this is what I keep telling the folks on my platform. Do you all not notice that him and Bernard Jordan did not, that little separation lie didn't show up until I put up that PowerPoint where I connected everybody on that PowerPoint and I put a question mark on Bernard Jordan. And I said, well, we're going to methodically walk through this and we're going to get to the bottom of it. The next thing you know, everybody was severing ties. Well, no, my contract with Bernard Jordan has ended. And then it was like, now wait a minute.
And you know what? And we're the part of the YouTube that nobody watches. Nobody watch us. We're insignificant.
I have to laugh every time I hear that.
But when we go live, all of a sudden it has an effect. When you, me, Marcel, it has some kind of effect. Some kind of something happens after that. So,
but it happens with us in a positive manner, not a negative manner, because we don't come from that negative place. On none of our platforms, we don't come from that negative place. And to try and climb the backs of somebody and then try and bury them to try and elevate yourself, that's unkind, and that's got to stop. And my thought is, has he learned anything? Is he going to continue to do this?
Not from what I saw today. It was still like in chat. I wouldn't be in chats trying to defend myself. And Pam is sitting there, I'm sure she's like, shut up. I didn't watch it all, but I know she was, shut up. So, but she
should be.
Yeah. But like we said, it was never with us. Well, with me and you, Regina, I don't know about Marcella.
We don't know
about nobody. Okay.
No, I wasn't hating anybody. No, I don't hate anyone. I've said that many a times on my platform.
But my thing was, we'll get behind you once you show us some proof and receipts.
Right.
Don't just say, get behind me because I have integrity and my platform has integrity. No. Give us the receipts so we can get behind you and make this thing work.
And then it's got to be something that we want to even carry on our channel too, because we don't carry every story.
Right.
Not everyone. AT2,
well, when
stop
I'm talking
it.
about the receipt even from Larry, it's like we want to get behind you. We want to believe what you're talking about.
Right.
He's a mess.
A22, he's over there getting his singing lesson so he can be ready for St. James's next performance that he's going to be doing.
And when they call his number now, it's going to say, do, do, do. We're sorry.
My.
The number you have reached is no longer in service.
Now,
Please
Regina,
check the number and dial again.
Back to your point, Regina, you said, have they learned their lessons? And the thing here is, I don't believe so, and here's why. When you approach the internet and you approach blogging as being you're the top dog and no one's better than you, and your platform is the most integral, and no one else can do it like you do it, and all of this other stuff. And thank God nobody else can do it like you do it. But when you come from that space and that head headspace, you end up eventually, pride comes before a fall. And this man is so prideful. And when you try to help him and when you try to give him advice, he doesn't listen. And here are the results. Again, I say this, and I've been saying this for the last several years. Larry, all of these people that you keep talking about are not good at their jobs. We're not named in lawsuits.
No,
you are.
No. And he gave a 200 super chat in Pam's thing today. See, I just don't, that just don't look good to me, but okay, it's just me.
Well, he's going to need to give some super chats to the new lawyer he's going to need to purchase. And then we're going to see how rich you really are.
Yeah. So MBM Network, get ready.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying, they're going to have to provide, they're going to have to come out the pocket.
Yeah. It's a shame. And has anybody heard from Youngblood? Youngblood is real quiet.
Youngblood ain't got no attorney. Youngblood is over there in a fetal position in his house, talking about what the hell did I do?
What did I get myself into?
He's under a stone right now. That stone. Oh, that stone.
Lord, roll the stone away.
He under a stone right now.
But they're not Youngblood is just Youngblood is just a pawn in this scheme.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too. Mm-hmm.
And I don't even believe he knew it. I don't think Youngblood knew he was being used, if you want to know the truth.
Right.
I don't think.
Storm Radio Live.
Hey, Storm.
Hey, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I saw the three of you together because I have a question. And I'm not confused. I don't think I am, but I just like to get clarification. Well, first of all, I agree with you somewhat on the issue with Larry and the way that whole thing came out with Youngblood. But the question I have is the advocacy that I see, or that I feel that y'all give for Bishop Jakes, I think it's a little, let me see. I'm not going to say over the top. I'm going to say, I don't know, everybody has their own opinions, but there are some people that have real hurt from the ministry and the man.
Okay, and I understand that, and I don't want to get too deep in that, but I understand that. But my thing is, sir, when you pull out an accusation and you have hurt, prove it to us so we can get on your healing train. We want you healed.
Mr. St. James, you are a very articulate and a very wise man. And I'm going to say, from what I've seen and watched of you, I think you know better than that by that statement.
Right.
Well,
please let me qualify that, sir.
Okay.
You know the history behind ministry.
But I think what we have to do, I think you're generalizing and putting all that generalization
I'm generalizing only for the reason of for Mr. St. James, because I don't want to get.
Okay, go ahead.
We're not trying to cause character to come out. We're talking. We're having a grown-up conversation. So since we're having a grown-up conversation, I like to stick up because there are plenty of people. There are plenty of people that have worked in behind the scenes in the gospel industry,
and I'm one of them. But go ahead.
Armor bearers.
Yes.
Okay, I know where you're going, Storm Radio Live, but what I want to stay with is this issue. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, and I understand it. But what we're talking about is this particular issue in regards to what the complaint says and what the motion says.
Can I just interject something? Let me interject something, because the word he used was advocacy. And I want to be very clear, and I want to make sure that we are staying on the topic and the subject.
Right.
Most of us that you see on this platform, Mr. Storm, although we're talking about the Dwayne Youngblood situation, we have clearly articulated that we understand that Jakes's hands may not be clean.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I understand, but here's the thing. when we talk about these subjects, and
speaking in
those of us,
absolutes.
yeah, if you're a good vlogger, you understand how to compartmentalize and deal with the subject matters that are at hand. And so the subject matters that are at hand are Dwayne Youngblood's story and what Larry Reid has presented to the public. That's what we're focused on, and that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about what TD Jakes has done in his past, because as you have said, there are many people that could have been hurt, and there are many people that behind the scenes that had issues. I know that. You know that. We all know that. But we're just staying on the topic of,
and we're not Jake's advocates. What we're saying,
we're surely not.
What we get together to talk about is the commentary about it and weighing both sides of it. That's what we're talking about. The unfortunate part is the information that Dwayne brought out didn't allow us to be on his bandwagon to say, "Oh, okay, we believe you. That's your story, and we understand your story."
His story was dumb as hell. Excuse me, Juice Ring.
The story didn't sound plausible. You didn't produce any type of receipts to support your story, so we have to question you.
Yeah,
and it's not about advocating for Jakes. Don't pay me. I don't get no money from Potter's house. But what I'm saying is, I will go with you if you have some proof and receipts. And you can't just say there's proof and receipt. Are we idiots and to think that there has been probably some inappropriateness done from all preachers, including Jakes? More than likely, yes.
Yeah.
More than likely,
If I could say this, Mr. Storm Radio, Tony Smooth, I would say this, and then I'll pass it back to St. James. In this particular topic of discussion, there's a lot of people that are seeing this on a broader scope because it involves TD Jakes. But what they have to understand is this topic is not about TD Jakes' life and history. This topic is about Dwayne Youngblood and the conversation that he had. That one conversation that brought him to this particular topic that people are talking about. I think a lot of people, when they talk about this and have commentary on it, they try and take it outside of the Dwayne Youngblood, TD Jakes issue. And that's where people get confused and the conversations get too broad when we're having conversations about the topic. We're not generalizing and talking about TD Jakes and all the things and the people that he could have hurt and all that. That we can do on a different topic. This particular topic is just a narrow topic. Dwayne Youngblood, all the people in the middle of that narrow thought, and TD Jakes. That's what we're discussing. And I get what you're saying. I was an armor bearer. I did behind the church stuff. I did all that too. I do know that there are some things that happen in ministry that does not get out there. When it is time and topic for that too, people have to understand, stay within the topic.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you stay safe.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know. Where did he go?
But here's the thing. I am very familiar when you use the word like advocacy, because I am a word person. Understand something. When you start using certain words with me, I get hung up on the words because I love the language.
There he is. Okay.
So here's the thing. I do not advocate. I'm not advocating for TD Jakes. And everybody who follows me understands that. So I'll leave it there.
And where did Storm go? I would like for him to come back up because
I don't know what happened. We'll get him back on
to have their conversation.
Tim.
Hi, I'm here.
This honor to be on here with Uncle Tim, the best reader, writer, all that.
Let me tell you.
What up, there?
What's up? Hey.
Uncle Tim first, your thoughts.
Okay. Well, my main thing is the actual crime that's been committed here. From what I understood from what you read and what Pam read, they're suggesting that from the very beginning, Larry Reid had made a deal with this guy. He was going to pay to interview him. But the key thing for me is also, if the person was to collect money from their victim, he was supposed to get a cut of the money.
Ooh, child. That's
where they're going to get Larry Reid at. That's the conspiracy. That's the extortion, and there's the conspiracy. Right? They said they went after him deliberately. And Larry Reid was getting paid for it. That's why he did it.
According to the complaint and the motion. Yes. That's where they're it seems that they are setting this thing up in a way, very putting all the puzzle pieces together.
Right.
It's not going to matter, like they say, upon what they understanding and belief, or what's that statement?
Oh, I don't know.
What they say under something and belief. It's what they believe. It's what
talking about the legal term.
Yeah. What's that legal term? Something under. It's in the motion, but they believed, and they believed that he played a part as conspirator number one. Over 800 in the chat. Everybody, please hit that like button.
The issue from that's going to come when they get to the point of the the depositions.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's all going to break down at. And I think I understand where you've been going with this. I think that in the deposition phase of this case, they're probably going to get to just what you're saying.
Yes.
And I will concede to say you're on to something there, because you first have that particular blogger or whatever you call them, bringing pre-stories of the same thing leading up to that individual.
And to me, and Daryl, you're next. And to me, it seems like they're using videos of what he said, and even in the previous video that may not have anything to do with this. They have researched his videos.
Yeah, you're right.
And they have heard. It seemed like they've heard him talk about the payoffs and maybe helping people getting different money settlements and things like that. Marcellus is crazy. Daryl.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Daryl.
How you doing?
Good.
I'm gonna be real quick, and I'm gonna get out your way.
All right.
Dwayne Youngblood is a convicted sex offender.
That he is.
And he's a convicted sex offender that tried to shake Bishop Jakes down for $6 million. Now, everyone involved with that, whoever they may be, cat, dog, fly, that is a criminal act that has yet to be dealt with.
Right.
That is not a civil matter that's being handled now. The criminal part of this is coming, and people are going to be arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Extortion
That's
is
what Daryl says, y'all.
Well, I agree because Jakes has no interest in the money. He went for the minimum, just the minimum. Whatever
it's not about money. This is not about money.
They're coming criminally. They're going to get him criminally.
There's criminal. This is not about money. T.D. Jakes is a wealthy man. This is about him getting his name and his reputation back.
Mm-hmm.
And this is about holding a person or persons responsible for what they did to him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to get his in civil court and in criminal court. You mark my words. People are going to be put in handcuffs behind this. I don't know who, but I know somebody, and it's going to be more than one person. And a lot of people that have been talking big going to find themselves with a mugshot and some fingerprints.
Can I add something to this? Because I want to go back to what Mr. Storm said just a second ago. And I need for all of us to be clear. And I like to educate my audience, and I want to educate everybody when I show up. What Mr. Storm said just a few minutes ago is very important to the whole scheme of this thing.
Right.
When the depositions come forward, that is when you're going to find out a whole lot of information regarding T.D. Jakes and regarding all the rest of these people involved, regarding what evidence these people claim that they have. And that's going to include Larry. That's going to include all of those individuals. You guys know, for those of you that's been following this story, y'all know that Larry kept mentioning that there was 2 other people. And then
there's always a lot of people. There's always more and more people.
Right. There are more people coming. Well, this is going to be an opportunity for us to see if these 2 people exist and if these 2 people are mentioned in this deposition. And therefore, we're going to see whether or not T.D. Jakes folds them and ends the case and moves on. Because once the depositions are taken, that's when this snowball gets really huge. And then and we're not even going to get into the interrogatories. Once the evidence starts being laid on the table, that's a whole different matter, ladies and gentlemen.
They're already alluding to that, things are being scrapped. They need to get the information right now.
Well, here's the thing, St. James and Mad Church. First of all, I'd like to address Mr. Darrell. The mentioning of the $6 million I don't think is a reference of conversation. I'll tell you why. It is not uncommon for lawyers in a civil matter to send out an opportunity to settle. That's very common. That's not
we understand that.
That's called.
What is the civil matter? What is the civil matter?
Hold on. Wait.
I listen. Can I finish making a point? Please.
It's called a demand letter. I'm trying to tell you what you're saying.
It's not necessarily called a demand letter, sir.
Yes, it is, sir. I'm a paralegal. I work with this every day.
Okay, well then, as a paralegal,
what they called it in the motion. They called it something in the motion.
Okay, so I'm about to tell you, Mr. Dowell's a paralegal, so he should know. You have a letter of notice. If you don't follow the letter of notice, you within 15 to 30 days, as required, because you just can't sue a person. You have to give a person notice.
Yeah, we understand that part.
But I'm explaining for the rest of the audience to understand.
Yeah, but I don't want you to prolong. If you can speed it up for me, I would appreciate it.
Well, I'm going to speed it up. So it wasn't a demand letter. The demand phase got to the actual filing of the suit. And Bishop Jakes filed the suit before the demand. That's what happened. There is no filing of the asking of $6 million.
Wait a minute. Correction. Correction.
There is no assault. There is no case. There is no nothing.
Hold on. There needs to be a correction here. Yes, there was an email sent from the lawyer and to the lawyer from the lawyer to Bishop T.D. Jakes' camp.
I said filing.
I understand. I understand. You let me finish. The email was preliminary. I'll just use the word preliminary situation that they sent to TD Jakes in order to get TD Jakes to comply. Now
to fill them out.
Now
notice.
But the lawyer, of course, and that information went over to TD Jakes' camp, and that's why he knew about the $6 million. Okay, so he saw that, and he, of course, filed his lawsuit because no one's going to stand around and wait for you to try to extort me. So I'm just going to go ahead and step on the gas. Now, I also worked in a law firm as a case analyst. So let me just say this: what you're actually referring to, Storm, is normally when you get ready to sue someone, they normally send out the cease and desist letters, and inside of the cease and desist letters are normally what Daryl just mentioned. It all encompasses the same thing. It's really the same thing, but it's to tell you pretty much to stop what you're doing, and we are on our way to get your ass. And if you don't stop,
we're going to keep on having these podcasts. Right. That's what they alluded to.
I'm just saying. Yeah. But I agree with you, Storm. You're on it. I'm not disagreeing, but it's just the wording is a little different.
Yeah.
We love you, Storm.
Tomato.
Right. Tomato, Storm. We still love you on here.
Thank you for joining us, Storm. We appreciate your
we do.
We appreciate you, sir.
Do.
Where can people find you?
I'm sorry?
Where can people find you on YouTube?
Oh, I'm not a YouTuber at all.
You're not a YouTuber? Oh, okay.
No, sir.
All right. Well,
absolutely,
thank you for your input. We appreciate you, man.
I don't.
You have a good one. All right.
Yeah, I just wanted to say they also have to look at Larry's background. I mean, he made his bones by exposing pastors. He's been doing this for years and years, and he was hooked up with William McRae, he was convicted of extorting people out of money. Right? Yeah. They're all doing this kind of thing from the very beginning. This is the biggest case they ever tried, right? Yeah. But if they can prove that he's an extortioner or tie him into this case in this way, then I'd say he's in big trouble. Criminally.
They don't want Dwayne Youngblood.
They want the big fish at the end.
And he's gonna start talking. Why wouldn't he?
How do we know he has it? Because you see what they're saying in the thing, the motion. He's saying, we're it's not going to cause him any strife, and even if he doesn't have an attorney, it's okay. All we want to do is start discovery. It's not going to affect him in any way.
Right. Which they know fully who they're going for and who they're after. Uncle Tim, I think you're right in your estimation there, and I think for all of us looking at this from the outside looking in, patience is necessary. We're not rushing this. We're going to methodically look at how things are unfolding and understand them and just walk through this with an understanding. Larry, needs to understand all of that lying and going on all these different people's platform talking about he's not named in the lawsuit. All of that is a waste of time. He is wasting his time and his Cash App sending to these people, because I'm telling you right now, it's going to be very interesting in the next several weeks. It ain't even going to take months. In the next several weeks, we're going to see some very interesting things.
And Dwayne has a bombshell.
All right, you guys, it was nice talking to you guys, but I got to take my dog out. He's scratching the door. I got to go.
All right.
Later, people.
All right.
When they start playing those recordings from when Youngblood was in prison, and when they find out who was on those tapes with him, that is going to be the hammer dropped on everybody's head. Because when you're an inmate and you're on the phone, when you go to that glass and you pick up that phone, they let you know your conversation is being recorded unless it's attorney-client privilege when you're talking to your lawyer. So if I'm in jail, Marcellus comes to see me and we talking on the phone, they're recording it and they got an officer in the back listening. That's why in this document that Jake's originally filed, it said 3 corrections officers. I bet you those 3 officers were listening in on those calls. And when you go to visit somebody in prison, you sign a log when you walk into prison.
Because they were there. Out. They took them off, but they were there.
And that's going to show how this whole plan got set up. Because
if they took them off, if they took them off, St. James, that must mean just in my humble way of thinking, ladies and gentlemen.
Go ahead.
If they took them off, then that would possibly mean that they have some other evidence that may not necessarily even require those officers. So they may have a mountain of things that they have that don't even require those officers. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just glad my name is Daryl Moore.
Well,
Daryl.
But what can we learn from this? Let's go to that part, y'all. What can we learn from
Daryl? Thank you.
Thanks, Daryl. What can we learn from this?
Daryl out of trouble. We just go move Daryl.
Amen. Bless God. Amen. Hallelujah.
This whole thing with people wanting to be more than they are, wanting to act as though they're bigger than they are.
Yeah.
All this is not worth it. It's not worth it for some clicks, some likes. It's not worth it for some videos. It's not worth it to be out here, spiraling and acting as though you're not falling.
But everybody's rich. Juice Radio, everybody rich.
Well, tell the courts now. Prove it in court. Prove it in court.
They're gonna test your wallet.
They are trying to make sure they're trying to map out this premeditation type of thing, and they are really trying this. And we can run around. I don't understand how people are still talking, even after the lawsuit. They were on people's platform. Yeah, the people got the clicks and views, but it did not do well, because I guarantee you now, there's been an attorney or a paralegal or an aide to the attorney in the office that is mandated to listen to St. James Show.
It's the paralegal.
The radio and talk show.
The paralegal does all the work, you all. I'm just saying, it's the paralegal. Trust me when I tell you.
Yeah, but St. James is right. They're listening. And if you think your platform is too small for them not to listen, think again. Yeah, they're gonna listen. They're gonna listen, and they're out there.
That's why I say stick to the facts. Don't put your emotion in it, because we can literally methodically show these people a progression of how Manasseh Jordan was used to roll into this Dwayne Youngblood story. We don't have to make it up, because the evidence is out there. So, and that's what I tell all my folks. We're just gonna show you what was said, who said it, and just let it speak for itself.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Ooh. Thank you, everybody. Hit that like button. Please subscribe, share, and also like, and even become a member of the St. James Show while you're at it. And make sure that you are hitting that $, the St. James Show, or $ St. James Show. It's always at the ticker in the bottom. And make sure you are subscribed to Mad Church Disease and the Juice Radio and Talk Show. You cannot be a member over here without being a member over there, okay?
Tell the truth and shame the devil.
I love it. And it's like, I don't love it because I want people to go to jail or people to pay a lot of money. I love it because it just, all the disrespectful conversations that have been having against other bloggers, against Jake, again, anybody that's, was against a convicted pedo, we were the bad people.
We were dumb. We didn't know how to dress. We were stupid. Oh, I heard some of everything said about us. Oh, it was just ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Listen, I always take these type of things and I learn from them. I learned with Tasha K and the Cardi situation that, you don't be talking about people have diseases they don't have. Even if you try and clip it out your video, don't do it. And I'm learning through this with Larry. If it ain't true and it ain't fact, don't speak it. And if you don't know, you don't know. And we just gotta learn from this kind of stuff, you guys. It just can't be conversations.
Right.
It has to be opportunities for all of us out here. And thank you, Holy Spirit, not just while we're talking on YouTube, but in life. There's laws that even when you're talking with somebody just, outside somewhere, somebody hears something, you could end up in a court case. So be careful with conversations that you're having, not just online, but in life. And that should take us right back to just tell the truth.
Yeah.
But he is Carmelita. He is opening up a can of worms. Let me explain something. When I was on the phone, I believe it was last week, speaking with the individual that I spoke with, I told this individual, I said, you know what? What Larry and these folks were counting on was that TD Jakes would be so afraid to step on the gas because of his reputation.
Yeah.
They thought that because most church ministers and most church preachers, when they get into these types of situations, they will fold and they will pay and they will just shut up. And I said, well, what?
And he said he had the experience with navigating and negotiating that, right?
Right. But here's my thing. I told the person on the phone, I said, what would be interesting is if Bishop Jakes pressed on the gas and hit all of the trees and let everything fall out of the tree, because he could rescind into the shadows of his bank account, never to be seen again. And all of these individuals who started this mess will be shown for who they are. Yeah. And I just don't think it's just the people that we know of and that we're naming. I think that there's some other individuals behind this, ladies and gentlemen, who have been trying to distance themselves. And when the gas is pressed, they're going to be pressed as well. And you guys are going to be able to see this in a greater, broader perspective.
Because we're looking at this, the tip of the, the icing on the cake, but we don't know exactly what kind of cake until you slice that bad boy and see what's in it.
Now, to Juice Radio, I think you asked a question earlier. You said, "What can we all learn from this?" Let's revisit that. I'm gonna let you speak first, but I just didn't want to miss that point. But what can we learn from it?
Well, I said, like I said earlier, learn, tell the truth, and you don't have to try and make yourself to be something higher than anybody else by stepping on a bunch of lies to elevate yourself. You don't have to do that. Yeah. Even if you try and use it in a phrase of, well, that's not what I meant. What I meant was this. The illusion is there. You don't have to do that. You don't have to be elusive. Just live in your truth and be light with the whole thing. So all of this that I'm learning, I'm watching, I'm understanding. I know, tell the truth, show your evidence, and everything cannot be on your platform or in your presence.
Well, and now you done said something. Now I got to perk my head up here for just a second. Honestly, I think that if he would have sent this, if he would have had great relationships with other vloggers who weren't messy, he could have sent this to other platforms so that Dwayne Youngblood's story could have been heard in a different critical way, and somebody would have been able to give some authentic pushback, and the story would have been received well. The night that Larry came, that they put up that podcast, I went to another content creator's podcast to watch how he was received. Them people was eating Larry's butt up in that chat, and I said, oh my God, I said, even his folks don't even like what Larry did. And that's when I said, oh wow, okay, let me really take a back from that. And I said, okay, but he just been eaten alive. And the people who are intelligent, who are not just drinking the Kool-Aid, they are pushing back. And let me just say this, even that young man's platform that I don't watch, and I won't say his name, when he interviewed Larry and he gave Larry the slightest little bit of pushback, Larry loyalty checked him in real time.
Sure did,
baby.
And I was like, is anybody watching what I'm watching? It was something to behold. And I was like, oh man. I said, okay, so but I'm gonna hush on that. I made my point. all I'm gonna say is, what can you learn from this? Is just stick to the facts, like she said, stick to the facts.
And and I've learned that stay on the path of because we got criticized, we got talked about, we got as sure as we was born,
that because
we were buked and scorned, all that, because we had the audacity to keep the lines of communication open, to actually weigh the facts and weigh what we were hearing, and figure out that, listen, what you're talking about is not valid. And because I think it's not valid, we're going a step further, because your character is so horrible.
Right.
You really can't go with it. Because you're convicted of that.
We challenged it. And because we challenged what was being said, then they came around and they challenged us. But you have to challenge, because
I'm okay with being challenged. But if you challenge me, Juice Radio, you must be respectful, and you must challenge me according to the things I actually said. Don't challenge the way I dress and the fact that you think I'm dumb. That's not a challenge to me. I know I'm not the best dresser. I'm okay with all of that. You understand what I'm saying? But the bottom line is, let's stick to the facts. And I'll just
what that is. That is just a tactic to get people from being entertained and looking at you. It's just put
that's demeaning though
in their head. Just put in, so when they look at you, they'll think that way, instead of really zoning in, clicking on, getting some real good information, knowing that you're a good guy, you have good opinions and good thoughts and good juju about you. But if I just continue to disparage them, I got disparaged all the way to 20,000 subscribers.
Can I say something? And this kind of just fell on me. I don't think TD Jakes is after Dwayne Youngblood for real. Yeah. And we kind of alluded to this, but let me just say this. I think TD Jakes is going to let the Dwayne Youngblood off. He's gonna give him a little slap on the hand because he don't really want him. But the rest of these other people that's behind this, he's gonna get them with the gusto.
Listen,
trust me, E. Dewey Smith is one of his spiritual sons. Let me sit up, because see, y'all don't know church like I know church. Let me move on up a little closer. Let me tell you something. E. Dewey Smith is one of his spiritual sons. We all know who E. Dewey Smith sued before, correct?
We know,
and I would venture to tell you that I guarantee you that TD Jakes has been on the phone with E. Dewey Smith and other people who have had these types of issues with Dr. Dingleberry. And listen to me very carefully, ladies and gentlemen. E. Dewey Smith won his case. Larry was appealing his case all the way to the Georgia Supreme Court. Larry's account of this says that him and E. Dewey Smith met in the airport and they came to a mutual understanding, and E. Dewey Smith decided to drop the case. First of all, it would not benefit E. Dewey Smith to drop the case because financially he had Larry by the kahunas. So let me tell you this. I believe, this is my personal opinion, I believe Larry ran into him in that airport and got on his hands and knees and asked that man to let that case go bye-bye. And because we're all Christians and we love the Lord and we love God's people, these people are being nice to Larry and they're letting Larry get away with these things. But let me just say this clearly. The Mad Church Disease Channel, these are the views of the Mad Church Disease Channel and not of that of St. James nor the Juice Radio. Let me say this very clearly. Larry if his goose is going to be cooked if he's going up against TD Jakes, because this time TD Jakes is pressing on the gas and he is not letting he's not letting his foot off that pedal. And I'll be making some more phone calls this week. Amen. Bless God.
Just reading that motion, I said, these people have their ducks in a row. They just need to dot a few I's and cross a few T's.
Amen. Amen. Bless God.
Just a few, and then they'll be off to the races.
Come on now.
I do believe that's what it is.
Well, now this is a great place to insert "Touch Not My Anointed."
Listen, if you want to insert it,
commenters.
I'm gonna tell y'all something about Larry though. Larry loves mediation. Larry likes mediation because mediation is cheaper and he don't have to spend no money. He can come out here in the public and tell the public he done won, and he loves mediation. But I am hopeful that TD Jakes' team will just press on the gas. Just press on the gas. All you need to do is press on the gas and roll everybody over. It don't matter. Whoever gets in the way gets in the way. Roll them all over.
They said Child Youngblood probably was already at Bible study at the Potter's house. He repented, apologized, and gave them all the evidence.
Listen, if he does not have anything to back up what he stated and he wants to retract his statement, that would be the best thing for him to do. Even if he stated that was all, even if he truly believes it was still real to him, if you don't want to go through with all this stuff, go ahead and just give your apologies. Go to the church, whatever, talk man to man, and say, "Listen, what can we do?"
Why not? What we want you to do is get your pedal behind over there and sit down. And when we ask you a question, and we ask you for some evidence, you produce it. That's what we want you to do.
Your answer, sir. You know, but Juice Radio, let me do this since all three of us are on the panel. Let me do this. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
When everybody talks about Dwayne Youngblood's story, his story only comes in 3 parts. And this is the thing that I keep trying to reiterate to everybody. The first part of this story is a hug and a potential kiss. Because he didn't even say that the man kissed him. He said it was a potential kiss.
Right.
The second part of this story is a phone call the next day from a bubble bath, right? You know, and I say bubble bath because he said he was in the bathtub, water was running.
It sounds
blah, blah,
better.
blah. You know, this sounds more dramatic. So the bubble bath conversation, and in that bubble bath conversation, TD Jake said, I'm going to give you some things that I want you to do for me when I come to town, blah, blah, blah. We all know what that is. Third thing is, I had him to read the Bible in public in the sanctuary. You all need to help me understand. What is the actual story here?
Yeah.
Is it, because I don't see anything that merits him going on a platform and telling this story unless it was story time at Masterpiece Theater. What is the story?
Yeah, because St. James, let me ask you, did the court document that you read, it did not state anything about what he said as far as the 3 things he mentioned. Did it state that?
Yes, it did.
In the complaint,
it did.
Yes,
in the complaint.
Yeah,
of
not
what
the
he
most
said, as far as he's saying that he said you can only be with me. I don't want to give my wife no disease. That part.
And they did mention in the motion today too. They mentioned the part about the hug. How the second interview they kind of got a little deeper more. They switched it around with the hug. They made it sound a little bit more salacious with the hug. They switched some things around. And the attorneys did point that out.
Because that wasn't even it. If I were TD Jakes, I wouldn't even be so mad at he tried to hug me or he called me from the bathtub as much as I would be upset at the 3 things he said after.
Absolutely.
I would be more upset about those 3 things they said after than those other 2.
See, the thing about it, when we were listening to him tell that on Larry's story, people were listening. People in the chat, which, his supporters, they were just so distraught over that missed kiss and the until we got on our platform to say, listen here.
Correct.
That didn't make no effing sense. That didn't make no sense. And then on people, no, it really didn't make no sense. But if you spin it and you keep spinning it, in a way where it sounds salacious, then your people gonna keep on. Yeah, he's just nasty. That was how disgusting for him to hug him. But when we talked about it, we explained this is a nothing burger here.
Nothing burger,
right?
But I think even more deeper than that, you had a man who was convicted of two SA convictions, was wearing an ankle monitor when his last time he was found in a car with a young man, but then you also had the podcaster who on the streets, his name is Mud. There have been several people that have come forward regarding allegations regarding him, and to have Elmer Fudd and Sylvester sitting up there telling these stories, it made all of us sit there and go, wait a minute, what's happening here? And I don't understand understand why intellectually a person who claims to be so smart cannot see why it was tainted. His interview was tainted, not necessarily because of Dwayne Youngblood. It was a culmination of the two of them. Both of you have your names are mud. And I'm not quite understanding why you thought that this was a good idea. Mr. I'm so smarter than everyone else. I don't get it.
Maybe the views were lower than usual.
Well,
from,
that's been done.
Videos. It could have been,
Yeah.
try and get something that was hot, or just a blatant try and just go after the man you've been trying to go after.
Yeah. And the views have been going down because people have been getting on their platforms yelling at their audience, talking about, you didn't watch my Ghana video, and why y'all didn't watch the Ghana video. And I'm just saying,
Jesse said 47 is gonna shut the borders. Ain't nobody in, nobody out. You gotta stay here.
Well, you do know Biden knocked a couple of that stuff of that wall down. Biden took that thing down, that wall, that border wall, and he sold some of the stuff for 5 cents on the penny.
Oh my gracious!
He sure did. He sold the metal. Look it up. Google it. I can't make it up.
Do you think the separation is too late now?
No. Nope. No. Well, it's too late for them to think that they're gonna get away with it. Yep, it's too late for that.
I still say there was, like when he said it, it came out, William dropped it, and then they get on there and they kind of talk about it and I'm like, I'm sorry. I've seen William report stories. Yeah. I've seen his countenance, how he does it when he's really not wanting to report on people that he has a relationship with.
He didn't want to do that to you. He didn't want to do that to you. They forced him to do what he did.
Oh, they forced him. No, I'm not condoning what he said, especially about my mother, but he was definitely coerced into.
Yeah, he most certainly was.
He said something about your mom?
Oh, yeah.
I missed that one. What?
Oh, yeah, you missed that part.
And you could tell his hesitation, St. James. And normally, I don't stick up for William in any case or situation. But and I know you're not. But I just when I saw that go down, I was like, oh man. And my moderators are gonna send me everything. I'll be like, okay, I don't even want to see this crap.
Crazy. That's crazy.
But yeah,
that
absolutely.
It was fine. I knew what was going on. I knew that what the grift was. I knew all of that. I said, but your actions, they take consequences.
Yes,
regardless of why you did it or you didn't mean or something.
But I don't know how everybody is so rich, but they got to beg for money to go home for Thanksgiving. And I don't know how everybody is draped in rat fur and all kinds of stuff. And then every time you turn around, they staying on for 3 hours asking you for a cash app. But you're so rich. Everybody's so rich, and I just don't get it. I just really don't get it. I'm at a loss for that. I don't get it.
Yeah. We hear people say how rich they are, but in all actuality, what we see, it's not it. It's not it.
Yeah.
Y'all pray for me because
living beyond your means.
Yeah.
Living way beyond your means. So don't worry, Mad Church Disease. It's not that you don't dress bad. You dress within your means and you dress fine.
I dress like a dude. I dress like a dude. I need St. James or somebody else over here to come give me some advice.
I had to get down there in the Southern Cali and spruce you up. I'll spruce you up.
My goodness.
I dress like a dude.
We got to go to Rodeo. You ready?
Oh Lord, no. Well, I've been there. Listen here, I can listen. This now better
we're using
than that.
Your credit card now.
Right.
You know that.
Listen, the only thing I want over there in Rodeo is a good restaurant. I don't care what I'm wearing. Just give me a good restaurant.
They got some around the corner. Yeah, they do. But I'm just saying, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to all of these vloggers making all of these statements and being so hateful and mean, I'm not even going to immerse myself in that. I'm just like I told my followers, I'm just going to do the work. So I appreciate the work that you've done tonight, St. James, by reading these documents, because everybody's been on.
They would rather we not do the work and we take advantage of all the deflection and we get deflected off of what we're really supposed to be doing.
Yeah, what's the point of that?
I'm not.
I don't have any loyalty to that vlogger. I don't have any loyalty to these individuals. If something comes up,
the podcasters,
right? The podcaster. I don't have any loyalty to them, and so You know, as far as I'm concerned, you can think you being slick by hiding money and putting all the money under the cake baker's cash app. But hear me carefully when I tell you, everybody's paying attention to your every move. And if you think you're going to get away with it, you are not going to get away with it. I'm just saying.
And the thing about it, you have to be careful with your association. How do you know your folks won't be pulled into this as well?
Listen, William said everything going down, but the word.
Oh my gracious me!
I'm just
Lord,
saying. Don't start no mess. But these people claim to be so intelligent and they claim to be so much smarter than everyone else. And St. James has been telling Leandria and them folks over there that they needed to put her in the rehab and keep her there. St. James has been telling folks, oh, y'all need to back up off. Larry, you need to stay away from this. Quit talking about this. Juice Radio's been over there telling Ivy Hillier, we know you done filed this paperwork first, and we see the court case and we see you. We see you. We see you. We see you.
Oh my goodness.
We've been doing our work. That's what we've been doing.
Somebody came in my chat and asked me, who is Ira? Is that his new woman? I fell on the floor.
That's him. That is him. Ira.
Listen here, listen to Juice Radio. That's like the woman gonna tell me that King James was Jesus's little brother. I say, no, I'm so sorry. You got some things confused.
King James.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna see if we are gonna have another tour. We're gonna see if the links will be dropped.
Oh, he's on tour right now. You know he on tour right now. Before you hit the live button and he saw this title, he went on a tour. Let me tell you
this. There is nobody's platform in the carnal church sector and out of the carnal church sector that he can go on that will shield him from the attorneys of Bishop Thomas Dexter Jakes.
Right.
It's just further putting, because they're using statements that were said after the complaint.
Yeah,
they're doing their homework. That's what we need to understand. They're still checking off boxes.
Yeah.
Well, but
I don't wish nothing ill. Y'all know how I am. I'm still loving, even when we fighting. I'm still loving. I may cut you, but I'm gonna heal you later.
Well, we don't have to wish. Ain't no wishing here. Juice. The wish has been done. The paperwork's been filed. You ain't got to wish nothing.
No, but I do pray that lessons can be learned and you can come out from underneath that behavior. Leave that behavior alone, because it's not just affecting you. Thank you, Holy Spirit. It's affecting those that's in your circle. And people have to understand, be careful of the circles that you enter, because you may not be able to exit them.
But he said he didn't care about none of them.
And that's the bad part.
But I mean, see, this is the thing. When you've been around, I've been around you guys before Larry Reid Live existed. Before 2015, I was around. When Larry came forward, Larry told us he would do a story on his mama if his mama had put out a story. He told us that. So let me be very clear. He doesn't care anything about these people. He's gonna drop them like a bad habit when the money runs out and he can't send them $200 and $500 cash apps. But I just want to tell you this: God don't play about TD Jakes neither, and me neither. God don't play about me. Don't play about me.
But like I say, and we're ended in a few. But like I said in the beginning of all this, if it were you and someone is accusing you of a hug and a kiss or something, and then they send a demand letter for $6 million, what do you do? What do you do? Or they're going to continue to spew stories on you.
What I would do, I would. First of all, if I know good and well, I'll answer two parts. I answer if I knew good and well I didn't do it. Of course, I'm going to send your attorney a letter back and say either take this down or I'm coming after you.
Yeah,
demand for demand. And then the other thing is, if I did do it, sit down and have a conversation. I'm not giving you $6 million. I'm not doing it. If you took it wrong, I may lower the number, but it ain't gonna be in the 7 digits or it ain't gonna be the 5 digits.
But why? But why would Dwayne Youngblood think that he should get $6 million for his situation? Like I'm saying, and I'm telling all of you, if
that number came from somebody.
Well, of course
it came from, and that's what Jake's attorneys are trying to prove, where that number came from and why that large of a number.
Correct.
That's what they're trying to prove.
And it came from somewhere. But all I'm gonna tell you is this: Juice Radio, these people know what they're doing, and they've been doing it for quite some time. They've been shaking, in my opinion, they've been shaking down preachers for quite some time. Because when we came out and we put it out there so you all would know what was going on, and we showed you guys a long time ago. Daryl and I said, this is what they're doing behind the scenes. This is how they're making their money. They're wrapping it up in NDAs and they wrapping it up in this paperwork. But these people are lying, and this is what they've been doing for quite some time. And now the goose is gonna get cooked. And
I agree. I don't know if they've been doing it, but when I'm saying right, I want to just clear this up. There are people out here, not saying that this is their camp or whatever, but that would do that would spread these lies and all this vitriol, and then try to get you to pay for their silent lie, to try and silence the lie that they did. There's people that do that. And here's where we got to learn again. This is not the season to be trying to think you're going to shake anybody, because it's all going to come back. These people are getting tired of this stuff. They're not putting up. They're not spending their money like that no more. Back in the day, you may have gotten away with it. But I think maybe they may have made Jake's camp a little mad when they came in at that $6 million man figure. I think that was the first thing
they said, this ain't coming from this guy.
Right. It's the arrogance of it. It's the arrogance. It's the piousness of it. When you can get on your platform and boldly make these types of statements about TD Jakes, it is the air of arrogance that it exudes from this guy. And the Bible says in Corinthians, thanks be unto God who always causes us to triumph and perfects in us the sweet aroma of his presence. See, the thing about the aroma of the presence of God and the culture of the Romans is that when they won those battles, they would light incense throughout the city to remind the entire city that they were victorious. So no matter where you live, whether you lived in the good area or the bad area, they wanted to remind you were victorious. And so I just want to simply say this: press on the gas, TD Jakes, because you're going to be victorious in every place. And it doesn't matter if your reputation has got to be scarred or marred, because no one leaves this earth without being marred by the experience. And understand, and to the gentleman that came up earlier, I've told my followers this the whole time. If something comes forward about TD Jakes, we will discuss it, and we will discuss it like grown-ups. You understand what I'm saying? Because nobody's saying he's totally innocent. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's saying that we're not repping for TD
and
Jakes.
Has never said that.
Right.
No.
What we're simply saying is the information that's been presented to us thus far has been some bull, and we're not going down with that. Now, see, that's where you were supposed to hit that tambourine, Juice Radio. You were supposed to take that tambourine and go like.
Well, the praise in the atmosphere, because we still want that sweet aroma.
Exactly.
Yes, we do. We want the sweet smell of victory, and everybody wants the sweet. And sometimes you have to remind some people that you are victorious, so you have to leave your scent.
And let that thing linger. And here's the other thing about this whole thing. Here's the other thing. When TD Jakes wins this whole things, we'll just say if and when, for those of you that'll be like, how if and when, he's not, I don't even think he's going to go on any platform and say anything. TD Jakes is going to let all of the bloggers do that for him.
And
y'all are going to be hearing it. So what can we say, y'all?
We're gonna be here for it. So I'm glad you Regina, and Marcellus were able to come up and just give some information. I know you guys are probably going to go to your indivial channels and maybe do a video or speak.
Not today. I'm going to have my jersey mic.
But listen. All we do, everybody here, we try to make you think. We're not telling you what to think, but we're asking you to actually use your brain and think. And if it don't make sense, I would question it. Okay.
Absolutely.
If it don't, and we've seen things that just didn't make sense. Just because somebody says someone did something or they have proof, but nothing has been provided, you can't just go with them because of the history of what you think their history is. No, if it's something that damning, get proof, get receipts, and even if it's proven that that person has done something, listen, there's always a way of restoration.
Absolutely.
There's always a way of restoration. You know, I don't know if you be restored back to where you were, but you were restored to a higher level than where you came from. So, you know.
Absolutely. All I can tell you is,
y'all
niggas ain't on my level. Y'all niggas ain't on my level. Is that Jake saying that now?
Oh my God!
My favorite part is when he hit that high note.
Listen, Johnny Cochran said it best. I would say Johnny Cochran said it best. If it don't fit, what you do? Must to quit.
Must to quit. You must. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. See y'all.
Good night.
Man, didn't we have a good time? I hope if you did not hear the motion, they put in a motion today, Jake's team, a motion to expedite discovery. They want to be able to get some discovery together so they can subpoena and get those John Does 1 through 10 or 2 through 10 started. They have alluded and put some good evidence. Well, I ain't gonna say good evidence, but they have, under their understanding and belief, they are pretty much naming podcaster. They're saying the podcaster, and they're referring to Larry Reid of Larry Reid Live here. So we will continue to follow the story. And if the complaint, I'm going to see if the motion, hopefully the motion, there's a decision on the motion really quick. And if I know what I know, and I believe that the attorneys that Jake's has, I believe this motion will probably be granted. My opinion, my opinion. So if you have not red ball it back or do the replay, before you get out of here, we want to make sure everybody has a chance to support the program. Would you be so kind to open up your devices right now or right when you get off of the live, and that you will submit a donation to the St. James Show, $ St. James Show, or $ St. James Show for Cash App. And there is your options to do Zelle and PayPal and Venmo. All right. So make sure that you are a supporter of the St. James Show so we can continue to bring the best in commentary, the best in churchy news and other types of news. But we got to stay in our vein over here at the St. James Show and the carnal church sector. Thank you so much for my panelists for coming up. Thank you, the Storm Live Show, Uncle Tim. Thank you for coming up. Marcellus, Regina, each and every one of you in the chat. Thank you for your commentary and your opinions. Yeah. You said the tea was hot and good tonight. My God. Oh my God. What's the real insider with lame Rashawn? That's all right. Go backward and make that happen and check it out. So your big love off. Thank you so much, Deion Sanders. Don't lie now. William? Don't you lie now. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for real. All right, everybody. Thank you, Abba Love. We are getting out of here. Stay around for some of the announcements and things we'll do at the end. So before we get out of here.
Don't pass any one of us by, Lord. Impart the prophetic anointing that as they go home,